What's up, guys? Set up my hard hat here in the head. We're gonna do some construction right now. We're gonna construct a dope beat up. That's right. Someone gives me a beat. I'm supposed to make it sound dope. I am a recording engineer. Now I know all the softwares. I don't care what it is. I have to. It's my job to make you sound dope. Period. And another thing is that we have to be able to make beats sound great. No matter whether ESP says there's no beats, he gets his own samples out, or you got this sample, that sample. I don't really care. My job is to make it sound dope. Okay, pretty simple enough to do. So let's go over this. I got a beat right here. First of all, I want to make sure it's going to play. There we go. This is a beat. Yep, that's the beat right there. Okay, good. Now the beat sounds good and the music sounds pretty cool, right? So far, what we have so far. But the beat is not really on top of things for me as far as what I think it should be. So I'll come to here. I got a mixer set up already to make it easy for us. This is our beat here. We'll come to here. Matter of fact, this is, ooh, like that one. That's a nice beat right there. That's pretty big, right? Nice. Okay, so this is wrong, right? So because we are actually in 16 levels. Pop out of there, go back to here. Now we got it here. Okay, now I know what I got here. Let's hit this back. Okay, good. I want to hear one thing back. The snare drum and the bass drum. First is going to be the bass drum. Okay, heard that. Next thing I want to hear now is going to be the snare drum. Okay, these sound pretty good, but they're not whacking it. I like stuff to whack and hit hard, only because in any music you do, whether it's country music, jazz, dance, whatever it is, the drummer is usually the central point for everybody to have to play around and to also get that groove going on, right? And so in hip hop, it's always been a dominant drum set or actually a drum combination of sounds in drum machines, right? So here, it's not very loud. I'm gonna have them both play at the same time now. I understand the concept. So what I normally do is I will build around this. But as I did or have done over the years, is I've come up with a way to do it easier. You know, it's what you normally do when you're an engineer. You're going to figure out what's the best thing for each little drum sound. And so here in this case, I have racks. Now, the MPC software provides you with a place to store your racks, which is great. Now, a rack is like, these have inserts. I could have four inserts, like four little plugins inside here. And I can do that again someplace else and create even a bigger file of a bunch of actually racks. But look at this right here. So I'm going to load in a rack here for a kick drum. And it should be this punchy one I want to load in. And I go back here to the mixing board and we'll see it right here now. Now we'll hear it by itself. We're going to turn this off, turn the rack off. I've just loaded. And next I'm going to add off, on. Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna do one more thing. I'll go here to my pad mixer. I want to see my pads and see the mixer for the pads only. Great. So I've got that and I got my snare here. Let's open this up. I like that. Sounds better now. That kick drum sounds much better. Next, I want to get a rack out for my snare drum. Now I've got that here in my rack set up here. I can load it in. I got a bunch of stuff in the racks, and I have some stuff I've already set up for us to make this lesson much more fun and easy to work with. Now I've got another rack right here. And I've got a compressor and I got an EQ. So this first one, I have an EQ here, which is the air enhancer right here. I set it up here to get some highs and some little bit more lows out of that bass drum, right? Got full output going here and some harmonics, not much going on there. Then I'm using the bypass compressor right here. Let's pull it up. Let's close this out here. And there it is, right? My bypass compressor. You can see here. I'm using that's a 1:1. I'm gonna use like a 1:3 more anything else right there for my ratio, and that's pretty cool. Everything else I liked already. Well, so I'm gonna go to here, and I want to hear this back now. That's much better. So next, what I want to do is I want to get these two things separated. So I want to separate them from this overall mix. You'll notice here, if I relieve these solo buttons and I press play, the bass drum has this thing where the velocities are not all the same. It creates this emotional feel for the bass drum. Now this is the overall output. I can mute this. We hear nothing, right? So this is the output for that overall program, which is all these drum sounds. Now what I want to do is go back to this other mixer right here, mixer section, and now I can see everything. I can see this right here, which is actually here too, right here. And I can see my returns and sends, and I have some subgroups. What I want to do now is I want to go to here for the bass drum. I want to go to submix 1. Whoa, hear that? Let's get the snare drum in there too. Uh-oh, that snare's slapping now. It's slapping deep inside the head. Pull it back right here. So we got a slap going on there. We got this finger snap and a clap hitting at the same time. I like that. So we got a good balance here, this thing. Let's go back to here. Good balance there. It's not bad. So now, I'm going to do something else here. I want to put something on the overall master output. I want to make sure I get this feel of everything. So this is the pads right here. These are the pads rather. And here, this button here gives us the output of the group. And this here is my submix right here. And over here at the very end, this is my master output, summation amp. And it has a crown right here, as you can see. And my output's here. I want to make sure that this is nowhere near, anywhere above 3 dB, minus 3 dB. The name of the game here is headroom. We want headroom. Between here and here, there should be nothing. Between minus 3 and 0. I want it to, when you play in your car and you listen back to it, there's enough room in there. If you got a dope system and turn it up, it will not distort. It'll just be like the Jeep is coming. You know what I'm saying? You heard that before. Let's do this right now. So I come to here, but I want to add an effect rack here. My mastering output rack I'm going to add in. I'm going to go ahead to load this up in the system. I got to find it right down here. Now, which one is it here? I do believe it's right here. And so it should probably have 4 rack spaces in it. Yes, there it is, 4 rack spaces. Now I've got a limiter here. I've got a EQ on top, parametric EQ. Let's see, it's got a parametric EQ here on top of that. I've got a limiter here tied to it. And I've got a widthener. This is going to be a width. It's going to add some width to the overall track. And I have a maximizer, or the maximizer, inside of our MPC software. So notice I'm using all the MPC stuff. A lot of guys have plugins at home, but until you've mastered what the MPC is giving you and know everything that's wrong and right about you don't like, you need to get really good at this stuff. So that way your ear is like wide open when you get really good stuff. So in this case, I'm using this because I know a lot of guys, this is all they have. I want to make sure everybody can do this at home no matter what. Back to the lesson. So I'm going to pull this out of here and pull this out of here. I can turn these racks off. I don't hear those racks yet. I'm going to play this back without the effects. I'm going to turn all the effects off and play it back. Now I'll turn it on. Bass is pumping now. So you see what happens? I haven't even added the limitering. I haven't even added the widthener to widen it, make it wider and bigger. So you get the idea here is that you can create really dope sounds in your track system, but you must know how to use the plugins you've got. So by using all these plugins, I've added a little smiley here, light. Here I've added, I just changed this around here. I used a maximizer, so I did a hard maximizer. I went 0 output here. I got the ceiling here, threshold up, my release points here. You got me a setup here. This is called mastering light. Cool. Let's click this out of here. Get rid of some of these plugins here. Now if I adjust the plugin, And I like this plugin. I adjust this plugin. I say, I like that plugin right now the way it is. I may want to come bring this part in here first and get an idea what goes on. Put a lot of stuff in here now. Okay, not bad. Okay, I hear it. The bass drum and the snare drum are dominating now. They're like, we are here. This is our space. Prefer that all the time. That's how all hip hop records are. That beat comes in there, man. You hear it in a club or in a concert. It's there. So I like that pretty much. I may pull this out of here. Now what I will do is save the rack, right? I'll come back and I can resave the rack. I can come to, let's say, here, and I'll say save the rack, right? I can save it. What I'm going to do here, I want to save something else I got. I want to save this other part up here, which I adjusted a little bit. Let's pull this down here. Let's actually go back to here. Oh, there it is. Let's go back to here, this point right here. And this snare drum is really hot. I just want to make sure my mid-range is pretty cool. And I hit this back. Yeah. All right, perfect. Now I adjusted that, right? You can resave it back to your rack. I'll come back to here. Even if you just started doing this, you say, I just made a new, I love the system right now. Great. You go in here, you save that rack. I go to this rack, I say save it. I know it's this one right here. Great. Now I say overwrite it. So I'll press save now. And it says overwrite. I overwrite it, it's good to go. Now I keep a pretty sophisticated rack system. I got more. And not just that, there are some factory racks too that you can load also as well. But this is a great way to improve the sound of what you have with your system and to get a better output of it. And it's always fun to mix your tracks. I don't care what anyone tells you, sit down and practice mixing your stuff up and make it sound a little bit better. You never know. Because when you walk into a studio and someone likes your stuff and you got to record it, you know what to tell the head engineer what you want and how it should sound. Any questions, hit me up. Of course, I got lessons. I give lessons, of course, as you know. SoundKings.com. Go and sign up for a lesson. I'll be offering courses this week. From now on, there'll be a course every day of the week for every software that there is. You can join that course anytime. You pay for the time you want to get. You come in and it's good. And we'll have a good time, and I'll teach you a lot of stuff, and you can ask me a lot of questions, of course, and there's no problem with that. So, any questions, at the bottom, you know what to do, and all I can say is peace to you. See you in the next one, bro. Peace.